First, virtue theories, which is not so much something that we really deal with in our culture. This is much more of a Greek concept, emphasizing developing good habits of character. For the Greeks, virtue was it. You attained everything if you were a virtuous person. You know, that was the goal. You want to be virtuous. You want to be, honorable and have all the virtues. You know, they say patience is a virtue. Well, it might be a virtue for some, not for others. The emphasis is on developing good habits of character. So it's not so much what you do, it's sort of the goal of what kind of person is that making you. Alright? And it kind of goes along with the consequentialist theory, but it's different because it has a different emphasis. The consequentialist theory we're going to talk about in a minute has a different emphasis. Okay, duty theories, also called deontological. You might want to underline that, deontological. Duty theories or deontological theories emphasize principles of obligation. They emphasize principles of obligation. It's the rule. This is a rule-based ethics. You do it because you're supposed to. Whatever the rule is, that's the rule, and that's what you do. Alright, now I'm not going to get into where the rules came from just yet. That's obviously a major issue. Where did the rule come from in the first place that you're now obligated? Okay, that becomes another issue. Okay, consequentialist theories emphasize the outcome of the action. If it is more favorable than not, it is moral. Okay?
That's probably why people don't like everyone joining.
Because the outcome is bad. Okay, we shouldn't go around killing people because, gee, look what happens if they're dead. That's a bad idea. Okay, let's move it. We'll kind of come back to virtue stuff here in a little while, but the two real big ones that you mostly hear about are the duty theories and the consequentialist. Consequentialist is also known as teleological ethic. Okay, you want to write that down, teleological, because I use them interchangeably. Teleological, just like that argument from design we're talking about. It's the same word, but this is regarding ethics, not an argument for the existence of God. All right, so consequentialist theories, also known as teleological. So we got deontological and teleological. All right. The consequentialist theory emphasizes the outcome of the action. All right, now I'm going to give you a scenario. I'm going to use my favorite guy here to use as an example of a bad character situation. Okay, Hitler. All right, he's just a classic guy. Everybody knows who he is, and not too many folks think he was, a do-gooder. All right, so let's talk about Hitler. What do you think? There was a guy named Dietrich Bonhoeffer who was actually he was a pastor and a theologian. He was not the kind of guy that you would think of plotting an assassination against somebody. All right, he was a mild-mannered kind of guy. He was known for being this Christian preacher kind of person, not the kind of person that wants to go take somebody out. All right. So it actually, in one sense, almost seems out of character for him to have done such a thing. But he was actually a part of. He was a German theologian and pastor. Who was actually a part of a conspiracy to plot an assassination against Hitler. All right. Now, he saw this thing coming. He was telling people, don't let him speak, in your public meetings and things like that. So he was way ahead of this deal. Before the war kicked off, Bonhoeffer was saying, hey, stay away from this guy. All right? So he saw this deal coming. He knew this was bad news. But there were more than, if anybody has seen that movie, Valkyrie, okay, there was an assassination attempt. And this guy just got left and right, got away with it, got out of these assassination plot. Nobody ever did fall through. He finally ended up killing himself, didn't he? Nobody ever was able to assassinate Hitler. But what do you think about that? For a person who lives their life think in terms of do to others what you'd have them do to you, who typically, thinks in terms of, if someone hits you, strike, turn the other cheek and let them hit that one also. This kind of thinking, who, normally their lifestyle is portraying this. Does it make sense for them to just plot assassination against a guy who hasn't even risen to power yet? Not really. I mean, he was getting there. He was starting to get a following. But does that make sense? I mean, the war hadn't started. We hadn't seen all this, this attack against the Jewish people and all this kind of stuff that Hitler was responsible for. We haven't seen any of that yet. Now, we definitely, probably most of us, I hope all of us in the room would agree that was ugly what he did, and he certainly should have been taken off the scene. But this is before that happens. So was it right or was it wrong to plot an assassination attempt against a person who was trying to, basically get a big following and ultimately become a political leader and start taking over the known world, this kind of thing. Ultimately, which is what he did, what he tried to do. What do you think about that? What is your perspective on it? Was it right or wrong to try to kill Hitler before the war started?
Maybe not initially, but gosh, he tried to just wipe out a whole.
This is before that. But you ever been in a situation and you don't know empirically, with that, whatever we're going to call it in your mind,
A true opinion.
you got that true opinion going that this is really bad, and I see where this is going to go. And you know ahead of time that it's going to get really, really ugly. Now, obviously, none of us have foreseen that ugly of a situation, or hopefully not. But, and it's not to say that he knew exactly how it was going to all unfold, just to say, this guy is really bad, and this is a really bad situation for him to be gaining power. Okay? Is it wrong? Would it have been wrong to assassinate him? You think it would have been wrong?
Yeah, because I'm sure a lot of people thought that kind of thing about Obama for no good reason, but
Okay, well, okay. I mean, I wouldn't compare the two, but yeah, I would. Okay, I wouldn't compare the two. I mean,
Shouldn't it kind of be like innocent until proven guilty?
yeah.
Okay, good point. Innocent until proven guilty. And that's why I'm really contemplating that movie, that Tom Cruise movie. What's it? Minority Report. Yeah, I think that if you've seen that, how many of you have seen that movie, Minority Report?
Years
I'm
ago.
really serious. Only 2 of you? I guess it wasn't that popular. I mean, it's kind of old now too. That I'm dating myself with some of the movies that I'm familiar with. People are so. The duty theorists would probably say absolutely not, as some of you have said, guilty till proven innocent, that whole thing. Now, under our sort of moral, legal code in our country, that's what we believe. That's the way it's written in our laws. We're innocent till proven guilty. There are some exceptions to that you'll find in the legal system, but I'm not going to go there today. There are some things. Wait a minute, why am I sitting in jail if I'm innocent till proven guilty? Why does the person get taken to jail immediately if they're innocent till proven guilty? But there are some things that people find themselves real fast in jail. The consequentialists would say, I know where this thing is going, and we're going to take this guy out. Okay? And that's probably the kind of thinking Bonhoeffer had back then, was we're going to take this guy out. This is not good, and if he gets into power, this is going to be a very bad day for a whole lot of people. All right? So the consequentialists would say, take him out, get a sniper rifle, do it. Put the bomb in the briefcase, whatever. All right? So that's the consequentialist thing. So